and I'm Dr. Daryl Wolf, and this is Lorraine, and we have Jesse here today, and Jesse's going to be talking about the 6-day advanced water fast, okay? Jesse did the 6-day advanced water fast, and I'm pretty sure it was your first time, right, Jesse?
It was my very first time, yes.
Okay. Today we're going to call it You Are the Cure. And guess what? I can get away with saying that. Okay? And you know why I can get away with saying that? I can say it till the cows come home. You are the cure. You are the cure. And nobody can stop me. The medical system can't stop me because guess what? The human who is in charge of that body is the cure of everything. All right? And just know this. But there is only one cure, and that's you having a perfect day on an emotional, physical, and mental level. What do you think, Jesse?
I love it. I love it because I think that that's something that from time to time I need to remember as well. I'm good at I'm good at all those things, but from time to time I as a human being need to plug into all those and just remember how abundant I am, and I do that.
Jesse, I'm going to be really honest with you. There's no time to time. It's all the time. And you want to do it long enough and strong enough that now your subconscious mind sees that as a prominent, dominant belief, and you never have to think about it anymore because it's a driver. The belief you have now is that this stuff doesn't matter. And if this stuff mattered, then you'd matter. And if you matter, then guess what's going to happen? Then you don't have to worry about your matter because it's mind over matter. And your mind creates your disease or your healing or your abundance on any level you want to talk about. And people need to get it. And this is not something you do from time to time. This is why we talk about in the course you took about a walking meditation, not a meditation. You can do a meditation, but you want a walking meditation because guess what? If you can stay in the present moment, own it, and stay connected to your breath with a slight smile, no matter who's at war, okay? All right? Where does that leave you?
Well, it leaves if you're at war with yourself and you're constantly doing the self-hate programs, then you're not doing yourself any good.
Well, then that means that you'll join everybody else's war, won't you?
That's
because
right.
You need to vent your BS.
Yeah.
Yeah, your belief system.
And you're doing an entire disservice to yourself from the inside out because you are taking yourself down by doing the hack, by stressing yourself, by increasing the hormone levels of histamine, adrenaline, cortisol. And where does that leave you? To the, like you say, the low vibrational tissues where we end up calcifying and where the pain ends up.
And guess what? It's not your fault. It's nobody's fault. Everybody's been programmed to be a slave on this planet. And that's why people can believe it or not believe it. Everybody thinks God's going to intervene or some savior is going to intervene. But it's like this, if I was the big guy or the big girl up there that created the universe, I'd say, please, I gave you everything you needed. Can't you just get your shit together? Huh? Can't you just love yourself? Can't you just care for yourself? I mean, what's the problem here?
Exactly. Why can't
so
you
how did we meet? What did you do to try to change your life? Why don't you start there? And then
Absolutely.
I'm going to sit back and just listen to your story. And then let's go into you doing an advanced water fast for the first time and what you discovered. But first, let's talk about your story.
Okay. All right. My story is after a 15-year career in health and safety, I've been most passionate about emotional well-being, physical well-being, and health. And I'm thankful to have the partner that I do, my wife, Jennifer, to support my dreams and goals. So I was at a pivotal point last July, my brother's birthday, July 5th, 2023 there, and you came to Calgary. And in that moment, when you came to Calgary, I was looking for me. I was looking for next steps. And you came with the Cell Sonic and with Jason, Alicia, and Melissa, and we talked as a group, we talked as an intimate group, and I was inspired because you had talked about taking courses, and at one point you had been talking to a gentleman there, and it inspired me when you mentioned take the whole life course, take my whole life course. And I said, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. So I decided to take the bull by the horns, flew to Australia for my very first time. And I drove from Brisbane to Coffs Harbour to Nambucca Heads, took the whole life coach course, and realized that I needed to do non-surgical as well. I'm going to do that too. So I booked Florida. So I booked Bonita Springs, Florida, flew there, took the non-surgical, and just felt right in my element, Daryl. This is exactly what I need to do, want to do, and I want to inspire as many people about this and how passionate I am about
I know, but Jesse, we need you to do it. We need you to
Yes.
do it. I mean, Sage, when he was training you, said, why isn't this guy, yesterday, why isn't this guy doing it full time yet? What is his problem? I said, guess what? The same problem everybody else has. You know, they've been beat up, and also he came to take the course, and it was a 12-day course, and he was worried about what everybody will say. You know, the chiropractor goes to school for 4 years, but the chiropractor can't touch what you do. The chiropractor can put a joint into place, but it's going to pop out because the tendon, the ligament, the muscle is dehydrated, and it just pops back out. That's why you got to go back to them.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not downing chiropractors. It can be life-saving, but they don't give no money-back guarantee like we do. We give a money-back guarantee that we're going to do more for you in the first treatment than all the other treatments combined that you've went to for any type of body work. So Jesse, I don't know what you're waiting for. So why don't we talk about what are you waiting for, Jesse?
What am I waiting for? Well, I'm waiting for myself to show up, right?
And what is that going to take? Is that going to take a life-threatening situation? Is it going to take you just hating your life so much that you're so miserable? Because guess what, Jesse? There's not a person on this planet that hasn't been taught that suffering is the way to the Lord. Suffering is the way to learn. And guess what? And that's the problem. There, I just told you, there's the problem with this whole planet. From the minute we get here, we're taught that suffering is the way. Whoever suffers the most for their family, loves their family the most, whoever shows the most suffering is the most human. No. The one who suffers the most is kicking the living crap out of themselves. The one that comes to an answer and has an understanding that they need to become the light so that they can teach that.
Yes. Yes, that's true. That is very true.
So how long is it going to take? I mean, can you give us a date? I mean, is it going to be like March the 20th or June the 4th, or is it going to be in 3 years? Or
No,
when do you think this is going to happen, bud?
It starts now.
And remember something, I'm not picking on him. I'm not putting him down. I'm saying I want you to show up. I want you to come up. Because guess what? You know as well as I do, you've been doing non-surgical, and how's that working out for your family and friends?
Well, it's worked out very well for my wife.
Okay.
It's worked out very well for my wife, and I've been practicing on myself in the meantime too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, hey, come on, okay? Can you do me a favor and just pretend you're someone else?
Okay.
Pretend you're someone else, and then when you go to pretend you're someone else, that person who does not, okay, fear, the person that's just going to show up and go and unleash their power, okay? Just show up and then go, wow, I wasn't pretending. This is who I am. That's what you're going to find out.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly where I need to be. And I am all that. I am. I'm actually wearing my I am shirt. I am. I'm abundant. I am intelligent. I am smart. I'm love.
Yeah, and you know what? You need to say it until you don't need to say it anymore. That nobody's going to come and lay any guilt on you, okay? Try to make you feel bad. Nothing is going to hit you personally. I mean, if somebody says to you, "You hurt my feelings," you'll just breathe into that and you'll say, "Well, let's see here. Let's see. You know, let's see.
Yeah. Let's get on with it.
Let's see."
Yeah. that too is a program, right? That's
Well,
like you say.
okay, well, there's only one virus on this planet. It's called victimitis, and it's just awful right now.
Mhm.
Everybody feels like they're a victim because they've all been taught that they have very little potential and that they're all dysfunctional and we're all evil and we're all dirty and we couldn't detox enough and whatever. You know,
Yeah.
it's just all BS. It's just one big manure pile.
And
Okay, it's
then
not.
and then
Go
if
ahead.
you see commercials on your phone, ads on TV and passing in airports and things, everyone's they're trying to make us feel bad all the time. It's like that subliminal messaging is always there. You're dirty. You're infected. You got to do something about it. Try this. Try this. It's BS.
Oh, well, it's just the same thing as it's, the whole carbon thing. It's just the same thing
Yeah.
as, we're polluting. Does anybody know that the Rockefellers actually made everything into plastic and that's made from petroleum? But meanwhile, we're running out of oil and gasoline. And I mean, everybody believes whatever they want to believe, and then they put petroleum on our feet. Well, that's what your running shoes are made out of. They took away all the glass bottles off the shelves and gave us plastic, and then they tell us we need to recycle because we're polluting the planet. I mean, who's the psycho here? I mean, do people ever even think a little bit? Just a teeny little bit? And guess
Meanwhile, we
what?
have
People do think, but they only think to the limitation that they've been told to. And that's why, did you think differently after you took the whole life coach in Australia?
I certainly did. Like
On,
I
on what
certainly
level?
felt.
On what level did you think different, though?
Oh man, like it it went right to my constitution. I mean, and I'll tell you this. I am a self-professed. I was a self-professed vegetarian for 6 years prior to COVID, and I met this the wonderful love of my life, Jennifer, and um, what I ended up what I ended up learning with that was I've got to incorporate, even with my plant-based diet, some things that like bone broth into my meals. Fast forward a little bit. I when I was in Australia, I had this hankering for a bit of bacon. So when I went to the store and I bought went to Woolworths and I bought everything organic, but I wanted to treat myself with a little bit of bacon. Well, at the end of the course, that bacon was still in my fridge. I hadn't fried it up. I hadn't eaten it, but it was still in my Airbnb fridge at the end of the course, at the end of the whole life course.
So guess what? You were satisfying a belief,
Yeah.
but that's okay.
it, it it was really interesting. I had a good laugh about that myself. Well, that bacon's in the fridge. Well, whatever.
Well, don't worry. It's still in the fridge and it's still good.
Yeah, but yeah, no, I for what it the whole life coach whole life coach course in Australia was uh was outstanding. I mean, it really went to the depths of my soul where I really had to sit and look at myself and go, that's a program. That's a program. I don't like that version of myself, but why don't I like that version of myself and why can't I love through that? So I really had to wrestle with it. And every day, every day, every new day in Australia, I was able to overcome a lot of these programs and make them into something that they weren't anything negative. I it was a positive thing. I could switch it.
How does your wife feel about the changes you made?
She's she's over the moon about it.
Really? Wow.
Oh,
You know what? Then you got the right person because 9 out of 10 people that take the course, it's bumpity dumpity.
yeah, yeah. She's been supportive since the jump, and she's been supportive all through. And I couldn't ask for a better partner in crime. We have
Beautiful.
very, very similar views on I call it the cupcake. You know what that is, right? And um, on organic food, sources of that, what we tell our children when it comes to good food, and how we talk to them about it. Yeah.
Do you find that you talk differently to your children since you've been more into loving Jesse and caring for Jesse? Do you find the way you talk, the vibration, everything has changed?
Oh my God. It's amazing. It's amazing how I talk to the children now. It feels good to talk about the icky stuff. And if something does happen where it's an old program, I can I don't leave it so that it is a traumatic thing for them. I go back and go, Daddy made a mistake. Here's how I'm going to fix it. And
Beautiful.
here's how I want you to see that. So I lead them in that through that. The other night, I had an outburst while we were playing cards, and I realized that I was projecting something. And the girls were upset. And instead of leaving it, and my wife was upset too, instead of leaving it, I said, I'm not going to leave this as it is. I don't want this to be theirs. This is mine. So I took it, took responsibility, came down, and I apologized. I said, I apologized. This was all me. We're going to continue playing cards. We're going to play tomorrow. We're going to take a little break tonight, but we're going to play tomorrow, because I didn't want that to be the
Yeah.
memory of how I feel, but I didn't want that to be their trauma.
You want to end the story properly.
Yeah.
You want to end the story wrapped in a bow of unconditional love.
Yeah. So I hit things a lot differently, Daryl, and I'm really proud of myself for where I've come.
Isn't it something? We are actually taught that when we make a mistake, cover it over with our children. When they make a mistake, we let them know it. We spend most of our time as parents trying to tell them how to be, when all we had to do was watch them and they teach us how we need to be.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, and when I say this is not picking on parents, but parents treat children worse than they do their animals. And that's the truth. And it's all about judgment. And judgment has to fall off the cliff. No matter what your child does, your wife, your husband, you observe, you sit down, and you work together as two spirit beings. Yeah. My God, does anybody realize out there that your children are spirit beings, and they come in and they mirror what you do? And they're showing you your flaws and the good things about you. They're the mirror. And then we spank them. We put them in the corner. Meanwhile, they just acted like mom or dad or both. I mean, how do they get to know what a tantrum is?
For you.
That's right. And guess what? They just mirror us. They mirror the parents. Wow, you just told daddy to what? Wow. Why did you do that? I don't know. Why don't you ask mommy?
Did you see Did you see that on TV?
Yeah.
It was you.
Yeah. So, anyways, so you did the fast.
I did the fast.
I'll sit back, you talk.
All right. So, how I arrived at this fast was when you talked about it in Australia, I said, I'm going to do that. And I didn't know when it was going to happen, but I took note of when it was happening in January, and I said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. I'm going to, because I've lost 26 pounds since July.
How do you feel about it?
Oh my God. I feel like a whole new person. The advanced water fast, I feel like I upgraded myself on the inside. I feel like all new from the inside. So, the 10 days roll before the preparation, I watched and I listened as you were talking to other people about that. You were talking to the world about how to do that, how to prep. I got down to 6 days. I started getting into my more liquid foods, and I was dead set on persevering through this, and I did. I took notes. I journaled. I'm very visual, but I like to write things as well because that's how I file things to memory. And from day one all the way through day 6, I took notes of how I felt, what I thought it was for me, uh, my exercises, my ideas, my mantras. The invisible creates the physical. The psychological creates the biological. Um, I started uh, I started again telling people on Instagram and starting my stories and my reels and on Telegram as well, and just getting people uh, interested in what I was doing. I want people interested. Um, I went through the dizziness, the cravings for the food. Day one was good for me. Day one was good because I don't think that the realization for the rest of my body had honed in on what I was actually doing until the end of day 2, where it was going, okay, what are you doing to me? You need to feed me now. And I remember being up 1 o'clock in the morning going, I'm hungry, but this is a program too. And then my hips started feeling achy, and I'm going, what are you doing? Why are you doing this to your body? But realizing that that was all in my mind too, going, whoa. So I was really capturing myself as an observer. And when I woke up day 3, fulvic acid concentrate, the Ormus, the iodine, the hot water became my best friend too.
Yes, it
That was
will.
just a delight.
Hot structured water.
Hot structured water, yes.
Yeah.
We're very thankful to have a spring up the road where we get our water. We don't drink tap water here.
If you get spring water and structure it, then that's God's elixir.
It's amazing water. Yeah, it's amazing water. We take 10 jugs to the spring and bring them back every 2 weeks. We don't drink the water here in Calgary. And anyway,
You must have a truck. You got a truck?
my car is my mule.
Okay, all right.
We actually make a bit of it's a big deal for us. We take the kids with us and we go to the spring, and it becomes a bit of a mountain event where we go into the mountains, we get warm water, and yeah, but yes. So day 3 passed by, and I remember you saying to Lorraine actually in one of your comments, both, this is when most people give up, and I'm going, I'm not going to give up. I'm going through with this. And the next thing I remember is you saying is people have heart palpitations with this. I really did have heart palpitations. But I remember you saying, don't worry, just do it. It's you. It's in your head. You can get through it. And I could hear you talking in my head. And I'm going, I'm going to get through this too. And I did. Day 4 passed. This became a routine. Exercises, water, fulvic, and I did all the protocols. Daryl. I did the suppositories. I did the coffee enemas. I did the like clapping became my friend. We have a roller in the kitchen, like a foam roller. I roll. Like that'd be every time I would think of food, I'd put the roller on the floor and I'd roll.
So you'd have a cinnamon roll.
Better than a cinnamon roll, yeah. So it was but above all, I really got a hold of the emotional part of what this was and realized how this was a big master program, as you have stated, and just how this is placed on the population, and went, holy crap.
You mean the step on your foot, your mouth drops open, and then they shove something in there?
Right in there. Yep. It's in our ads. It's on our TVs. I know in the States, you see the main streets there, Zaxby's, McDonald's, Burger King. I mean, they're all lined up, fast food, and it's
They're
all
there,
cheap.
they're there to dumb down, but understand everybody's used that word dumb down. No. They're there to steal your vibration. They're there to corrupt it. You know what? Enlightened beings do not make very good slaves. People that are self-empowered, that self-love and self-care do not make good slaves. You know, people will say to me, Jesse, Dr. Wolf, I pray for you. They're going to come and get you someday. And I go, no, they're not. They're coming for you. They're after the low-hanging fruit. I'm too much work.
And I don't laugh at them, but I laugh at that comment because I think I don't even bring that thought into my constitution. That's not
Right.
something that I make manifest. I'm making manifest me in my abundance. And that's where I am.
Yeah, I hear you.
Yeah.
So continue. Day 4. Now where are we? What are we doing?
Day 4. Yeah. That day I went, so I did the calculation and I had to convert it back to metric, but 4.7 liters of water was my daily intake. And that.
So basically 4.7 liters, everyone, is about 4.3 quarts. Okay.
So that day I had lots of water. And that day I had lots of inspiration because I could really feel, I remember going to the gas station because I needed to get out of the house and do something, just to get out, to connect with nature and people. And I went to the gas station, filled up with gas and came back. And I remember going, this is different. I've got to go to the washroom, but I can hold it. It's not an issue for me at this moment. And then I went, okay. It's because I don't have all this sludge, this physical presence that is no longer benefiting me in my system. It's being cleared. It's
no longer jammed up jelly tight.
Yeah, no longer jammed up jelly tight in there. And that was like a little mini epiphany in me. I didn't have all that weight pushing down on my bladder. It wasn't an issue for me. It wasn't irritating anymore. It didn't cause stress.
Your bladder was no longer sandwiched.
I could hold it. So yeah, that was a little bit of a celebration for me. And getting through day 5, getting really excited about this, going, I could do this for a few more days. I know I could do this. I just feeling empowered to be able to get control of my thoughts in my body and put them together. And I can tell you, I weighed myself every day. I felt good about it. I felt good about the exercises. I felt good at where my brain was at this point. And the aches started to go away. The mindset I had. And by day 6.
You do understand that the aches, everybody, are just the contraction of the cells pushing the toxins out to allow the issues in the tissues on an emotional and physical level to leave.
Yeah.
Stop your grieving, we're leaving.
And my body was putting up the fight too. It was like my hips were achy, my knees were achy, and I'm going, my knees never get achy. What's going on?
That was arthritis. That was arthritis in 10 years.
Yeah. It was intense, and I went, but this is all in my mind too. This is all in my mind. This is a big program.
It is. If everybody can understand something, this 6-day advanced water fast, you can go check it out and check out the videos. They're all up in my library. If you go to Doc of Detox Library, click on 6-day advanced water fast guide. You'll see all the videos there. You'll see the guide. You can read through it. It's all laid out, isn't it? You know, don't feel overwhelmed. Go watch it like a movie the first time and don't try to take it in. Just try to go with it and just pick up on what you can pick up. Gentle baby steps are what you do. Everybody gets overwhelmed because they think they have to do everything right away. Stop being in competition with yourself or anyone else and just loving that life, being in the present moment, everyone. And I will tell you that the 6-day advanced water fast, when I was doing water fast, we were having people going through hellish healing crises. But with the products that we put people on, the nutraceuticals, it does not turn on, it bypasses the Krebs cycle, doesn't turn on the digestive tract. It actually increases stem cells, increases autophagy. It improves the advanced water fast, because when we used to do water fasting, I was doing water fasting back when I was 19 years old. And by the time I came to around 32 years old, we found out something that, you know, it takes someone like Jesus. When he would fast, it was only because of, it was enlightening himself. He wasn't trying to do a weight loss to go to the prom, okay? He wasn't trying to get rid of toxic waste. He was trying to bring up his vibration, become the light, okay? Get closer to his Father, Creator, and understand something. Today, if we do an advanced water fast, we unleash the toxins so fast, we will do damage. You heard what I said. So this is why we do therapeutic vomiting. We do, if you need it, vaginal infusions, ultimate coffee enema, suppositories, castor oil packs, clapping, belly button therapy, and doing the pelvic squats or the crab stretch to really unwind. This is about celebrating you, celebrating your life, learning how to love you for the first time that you can remember. What do you think, Jesse?
I absolutely agree with that. I absolutely agree with all of it. The crab stretching, the therapeutic vomiting. I can tell you, for me, the therapeutic vomiting was awesome. Like a great experience.
And you know, there'll be people on here right now typing, he's teaching bulimia. And understand something, everyone. Did you never ever say you make me sick to my stomach? Did you ever say your stomach was in knots? Did you ever say that I can't stomach that? And understand something, whether you believe it or not, therapeutic vomiting can save your life. Therapeutic vomiting can help to reverse cancer, arthritis, migraines, you name it, fibroids, tumors, okay, aches, pains. I don't care what it is. Remember something, your stomach is the guard dog, and that guard dog has no teeth anymore because we kick the living crap out of it because we don't know how to food combine, and because we eat processed food, sugar, flour, dairy, alcohol, and all kinds of chemical poisoning. So what do you think your stomach looks like?
It's incredibly in pieces.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think to myself, when I think therapeutic vomiting, we have two cats. And when they don't feel good, they will eat food, but they will spit it up. And I get thinking to myself, they have it right, because if it's not good for them and it isn't feeling right, in especially when things are off in my house, if the girls are off or I'm off a little bit, it's almost like the cats know too, and it's almost like they do this through some sort of energetic catharsis. So they will puke up, they will spit it up, and we go, but that to me is okay. They know enough. They know so much about getting rid of what that energy is that's affecting them inside.
Jesse, I'm not trying to correct you. I just want to tell you something. They don't know anything.
Jump in.
They don't know anything. They feel everything.
Yeah,
we stop feeling. So they do know, but it's not where they're coming from. They go from a feeling. You know what?
Yeah.
Oh, I have a gut feeling. Your gut feeling's way more important than here until you've taken my whole life coach 3 times. Because you can't trust this. This is limited, and this is, I don't care who you are. If you have a disease, this caused it. If you're broke, if you're financially broke, this caused it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
If your relationships suck, this sucked on you too much. You know, all it is a computer. We got to pull those programs out and put a new ones in. You put a new program in, you got a new life.
You do. So the cats, they feel it. It's out. They feel better.
Cat's out of the bag. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, it's out of the bag. Yeah. But for me, it was, I remember when you and Lorraine were talking about this just before the class had, or excuse me, the advanced water fast had started. And what you would say was that when you do the therapeutic vomiting, if you feel like you've got to throw up, there's something emotionally in there that you need to get rid of.
Oh, well, okay, let me tell you something. If you don't throw up and get rid of the invisible belief that is tying you up in knots, okay, all right, that goes through the stomach valve into the small intestine. You got 30 feet of hell, buddy.
Yeah.
And then if you find that it's been in you too long and you can't let go of that emotional, dysfunctional thing that you can't let go of, guess what? If you can't let go of your shit, now you're constipated and now you're going to rot out. And if you can't let go of it on an emotional level, you're not going to let go of it on a physical level. And welcome to the world, because we came in invisible. We came in as light energy, electrical, magnetic beings. And psychological will always rule the biological, and that will be it. So understand, there are no genetic diseases, and anybody who wants to come on and challenge me on this show, I would love it, because I will put that to bed in 5 minutes. There are no genetic diseases. Oh my God, I have this special thing that they only see in 1 out of 20 trillion people. Really? I call BS. Okay? There are no diseases that you can turn around anything, but you can't turn around your personality unless you want to create a new reality. You'll never do it. You know? I've always been sick. It's always been this way. My great grandfather had it, and then it skipped a generation. That's what it does. And now it got me. That's it. I'm going to be on disability forever. Yeah, you are. You're already disabled.
Yeah.
And guess what? I'm not picking on that person, but they bought into a BS story. We need to we all need to write our own story, right, Jesse? You got that, right?
We do. We need to. We write it every day. We make manifest the things that we speak into our reality when we write them down, when we think about them. Like thinking about this when, especially when I went through the whole life coach course, your thought, like I've heard that over and over again, Joe Dispenza and other wonderful people out there that are neuroscientists and, they like yourself. And, when you think about things and you go, well, yeah, but your thought becomes everything. You don't really understand it until you go through the whole life coach course and you go, oh, my thought that was a negative thought about myself, which was a self-hate program that was stuck inside of me, became a calcification, which went into low vibrational tissue and got stuck there, and it became pain. And that needs to, that when you make that connection, when I made that connection, I started to rewire all of that, because I didn't want that to be an intrusive part of my day. I don't want that to be an intrusive part of my day.
Or your daughters, or your wife.
Yeah. Yeah. I just talked about them too. Yeah. Taking the bull by the horns, taking responsibility for it. And then I'm not going to pass on the family curse to you. That's not what's going to happen here. I'm going to do this.
You're now the family blessing, right?
Yes. Wholeheartedly. And I'm the leader of our family. I want to lead that. That's just who I am. Yeah.
Isn't it great? Everybody wants to lead, but isn't it great when you have strategies, okay, that you're not a bully?
Yeah. Yeah.
When you're not a bully. But you didn't know you were a bully.
Yeah.
But you become a bully because guess what? They said, look here's a hammer, tighten the screw.
Yeah. And then you do.
And then you do.
And then you do. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I was bullied all through school, but here's what it did for me. It allowed me to understand and understand what it was, understand that it wasn't my problem. It equipped me later on in life. And now, understanding that, I know what I need to do not to do that to other people. And I will not do that to my children.
Right.
Yeah. So that's my new story. That is my program. Yeah.
So where do we go from here? Do you have other things? Have you other things you've written down you'd like to discuss?
I want to tell you that this has also inspired me to take up urine therapy, which I've done as well. And I've been doing it every day as well. And I think that that is something that your brother Marcel said really well too, which was you just got to get over yourself. That too is another program inside you, which is out there that has made you think that this is totally disgusting, and which you've adopted as your own, which is not your own. But once you can get through that and go, it's me. And you said it best. You're in therapy, your own therapy. So it's self-made, it's me, and it's I love it.
Where are you going to go from here? What do you see for yourself?
I see myself in abundance. So where I go from here is taking my business. My business is called Valiant Wellness, and it's been a mantra for me to have the courage and to empower people to be a part of that. So my business, I have a couple other modalities that I use as well, but where I want to go from here is to inspire people and to tell people that to show them how I can help support them to understand what non-surgical is, understand how their thoughts are creating the problems of which are continuously being the terrorist in their body, and then how we can address it, how you can have a better life. So that's where I want to go with my business from here, and I'm set to do that.
Well, just let me know what we can do to help you. You know we're here 100%, right?
I do. You've been great support for me. I enjoy the videos. I enjoy the canter. It's been a great wake up call for me from July until now, and I remember just at one point being at the gym, and I don't go full out at the gym like I used to. Actually, this part you don't know about me. I used to be a devout marathoner. I've run 39 races. And I think that you've said it best when you've said anyone that's a marathoner or a runner, what are you running from? And I can honestly tell you, most of those races, I can't remember how I did it. I can't remember what I was doing. I used to take on the world and fix the world within my run. And then after the run, I feel like I had accomplished something, but I didn't actually enjoy the journey. And I don't think I enjoyed the journey until the last 3 or 4 races that I did. But all that time too, I'm hacking throughout the race. So my joints are now going to calcification points, right?
And what that, if I can say this, everybody, that hack means histamine, adrenaline, cortisol. Instead of dumping the dose, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphin, which is the love drug. But you know what? You got to serve the love drug to yourself. I mean, you can eat a piece of bread and get the love drug, but it's the wrong way to do it. You can go on your platform and see who likes you. That's the wrong way to get it. How you get it is through loving and caring for yourself, not wanting to be stimulated. As long as you want to be stimulated, okay, then you will be a slave. And that's what they want, okay? You can push the love button anytime you want, but that would be approving of yourself. What do you think, Jesse?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I think that you got to get your daily dose.
That's it.
You got to get your daily dose. Quit hacking and get your dose. And your dose, dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and the endorphins.
Bam.
Yeah. So what I want to say, just bringing back to that moment of the gym, I had a moment of clarity where I've been taking the IGF-1, I've been taking the nutraceuticals, and down several pounds, and saying, I have energy to do more now. Wow. And then realizing that at that moment, it was almost like it gave me, it provided more energy on top of that to do something else in there that wasn't going to exhaust me. And I loved it. It was like this gift to my body.
Beautiful. So everyone, this is called the Real People, Real Healing. And if you go to Doc of Detox Library, you can go into the Real People, Real Healing Guide and see all kinds of real people telling their stories, or me doing a consult, a live consult from everything from arthritis to a tumor. Okay. So, and you can go in there and take a look through and see what you want to watch or you vibrate with. Lorraine, do you mind asking if there's any questions up there, or if people are just, you'll have to walk up there and read it though. Is that okay? All right.
Someone says, aware people have logical thoughts. I'm amazed I did it 6 days.
Can you scroll that, please, and see if there's any other questions there, Rafa?
Excited for the next sale.
Scroll that. Okay. Actually, guys, right now we have an infinite iodine sale on. Biggest sale we've ever had on. Biggest discounts for everybody. Go check it out. And iodine, every human being needs iodine every day. And I won't get into the story, but check it out. Anything else there?
People have to start with their own minds, stop believing the BS.
The BS, yeah, dysfunctional belief systems. Got it. Okay, that's great,
Yeah.
Lorraine. Thank you. Jesse, what would you like to leave everybody with?
I would like to leave everyone with, well, what will, if not now, when? When are you going to get a hold of your life and start doing exactly what you want to do with what you're passionate about?
Beautiful.
When are you going to be the person for you?
Beautiful. So Jesse, what do you think we do Jesse part 2 in about 4 to 6 weeks? See where you're at. See what kind of, you know what, everyone? Okay, let me tell you something. You see the snail that's on the front porch, right? Okay, go in the house, go to the bathroom, get yourself a drink, come back and see if you can find him. Okay? Okay, you don't have to move quickly. Just move bravely. All right? Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you, Daryl.
Have the best day of your life, man. And when you need me, you call me. You know that, right?
I know that.
You know
I'll
that.
call you.
Okay, all right. Thank you, my
you.
friend. God bless.
Cheers.
And thank you, everybody, for joining us. And this has been a Real People, Real Healing show. And if you ever decide that you want to come on live and you've got something going on emotionally in your life or nutritionally, or you're dealing with a situation and nobody's been able to help you, if you want to come on live, you can contact me at 469-861-8884 or call our 800 number and push extension 5. Okay? Or if you just have a question, you can push extension 0. We're willing to help you. But understand something. Every one of you have been programmed. I'm going to make a quick call, get a silver bullet, and then be healed. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You might want to think about getting a consultation. It's only $150 with the Doc of Detox, and that's lifetime telephone support. And if nothing else, you really should check out. Let me see if I can do it here. You really should check out our Perfect Day Guide, pdgfree.com, and then check out our library. We have more free masterclasses in our library than anybody else that I know on the planet. We're also coming out with the Braveheart Nation app. Our next course will be in Stuart, Florida. All right, and we'll have the Whole Life Coach, Wolf Non-Surgical, and the Pelvic Restoration course, and that's in June. Go to braveheartnation.com or bhnuniversity.com. And just know this, that the Extapa World Healing and Training is open, and this is a beautiful retreat center that you can come down and you can learn how to do everything that we've just talked about. Or you can come down and just do a juicing holiday, or you can just do an advanced water fast holiday and we'll do treatments on you, or you can come down and learn how to do non-surgical. And these are personal treatment and trainings where one person comes or a couple comes or a group come. Okay? Our retreat will actually sleep 10 people. There's a beautiful structured pool there. All the energy medicine in the world, electric bicycles. Ixtapa, Zihuatanejo, Mexico is probably one of the most beautiful places in the world. Peaceful, calm, so safe. I know where I'm staying when the crap hits the fan. Okay, there's going to be an economic downturn that's going to make everybody's heads flip backwards, right? But guess what? Down here, it's only organic. Isn't that something? Down here, there's no 5G. Down here, there's no chemtrails. I'm not making this up. Okay? And down here, there's no government intervention. Down here, I walk into stores, I go all over the place barefoot. Why do I do that? Because grounding is big to me. Did you know that if you walk in the grass for 15 minutes or you walk on the beach for 15 minutes, they tell you to watch out because you're going to get worms in your feet? What are they, like drill bit predators? Gotcha. I mean, the stuff that we actually believe, right? The stuff that we actually believe. You know, don't you want to be grounded? Don't you want to fall in love with yourself? Don't you want to fall in love with yourself even if the world doesn't love you? Hey, let me tell you something. How many people do you think that people that believe in unconditional love and care for themselves, how many people do you think they hurt? No. But people are always going to get hurt. If your belief systems don't match theirs, they'll have a temper tantrum. That's none of your business. Just walk away. You know what? Mind your own business, okay? The big thing out here today is this, is a lot of dogs are barking, but a lion doesn't pay heed, does it? No, it does not, okay? And understand something, people that wish they could be you, okay, that have limited beliefs, there's going to be some bumps in the road. What if you loved yourself unconditionally and cared for yourself unconditionally? What if you didn't make anybody responsible for your life except for you? Where would you be and where would your family be? I'll be on later today. We'll be doing what's called BHN Power Pack, where we're going to have people coming on who have a Power Pack clinic. They have a cardio med bed. They have a Cellsonic. They do Wolf non-surgical. They carry our nutraceuticals, and you can take that as a sales pitch if you want, but there's nobody getting the results we're getting. I'm telling you that right now. Nobody's getting it. When you have the highest vibrational piece of equipment in the planet called a Cellsonic, when you've got a cardio med bed that creates perfect circulation in a human being, when you've got high vibrational nutraceuticals and you know they're clean, okay, when you do Wolf non-surgical that will actually take scar tissue, make it into beautiful connective tissue, and you know how to get the calcium back into the bones, yeah, that's the truth right there. There's the fountain of youth. But the biggest fountain of youth, it's what you think before you drink. It's what you think before you eat. It's what you think before you act. It's what you think about yourself. Mind your own business and have the best day of your life. 3, 2, 1. You've got this, Braveheart.